Don't you shush me. Good evening, savages, and welcome to another episode of Savagely Paranormal After Dark. Yeah.
Tonight's our conversation apparently is going to be about Slenderman.
Yeah.
Woo! News to me.
He's been really popular on a lot of our shorts recently, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
We don't...
All this talk about shorts and I'm not the one wearing them.
Yeah. You didn't get the memo.
Yeah, no.
You didn't
Apparently
understand the assignment.
Did not.
No, I missed the tank top one, so.
We're almost a complete outfit here.
Almost.
So,
Almost.
On the topic of Slenderman, apparently none of us are, so.
No.
Slenderman would be, from the creepypasta versions, a tall figure, roughly, I believe, 7 to 8 feet tall.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Wearing a 3-piece business suit, completely white skin, no face, no eyes, no mouth. No, thought to be an interdimensional traveler. And with, I do believe in some aspects, having tentacle-like appendages.
Yeah, they come out of his back.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, unlike the creepypasta version, he has tentacles that come out of his back.
So he's like
And they're the same color as his business suit.
octopi.
Yeah, he's like the Kraken on crack.
Yeah.
He's like the land Kraken.
He is extremely fast.
So he's a plumber too, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he bends over, he might have a crack. Being that slender, though, I doubt it. I would hate to see the size of the belt that he has to wrap around him where that hole would be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but creepypasta is not the only and the first.
Did you know?
It's not the first, like, original sighting and kind of creation of Slenderman. He's from
Yes.
Germany and...
That was my line.
Well, what year is he from? I don't remember.
Did you know he was originally seen in the 1600s in Germany?
Wow.
400 years ago, at least.
Yeah. But he's not just a creepypasta.
Not
thing.
just a pretty face, he can do the math too.
So, as with, like, creepypastas, they are, they're based in myths and legends, centered around folklore. They're built in to be somewhat of a paranormal history lesson, I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume.
I mean, I don't like to assume because it makes, we all
An
know
ass
that
out of
one.
you and me. So, this right here,
As you see on the lovely screen.
yes, which is not
TikTok won't
anywhere
see
here.
that, so make sure if you're on our TikTok lives that you also watch this episode on YouTube so that you can see what we're
About
pointing
to talk
at.
about. So there is a picture, the black and they're both black and white. The one with the guy in the trees, that is a wood carving of the original Slenderman.
The picture it's in the top middle, that is actually a picture of the rake.
Yes, but I typed stuff on there, so I don't know if you can read it. But the rake, which was seen in upstate New York in 2003, there are theories out there
That they're like
that
one and the same?
Well, not necessarily one and the same, but they're like in the same family. Then there's also more theories that potentially they are one and the same, or
Casting
that
shadows on your face. You can't have that.
I like shadows. That
They're dark like your soul.
yes, they are. They're dark and twisted like my soul. That potentially they are one and the same, or it could be like one is proxy to the other. One does the dirty work, one tells them what to do. So there's different theories.
So it could be a proxy. The rake could be a proxy of Slenderman.
Yes, because the story goes back in, I think this was, I don't know if this was in the 1600s part of the story or if this was more in the 1900s, but supposedly Slenderman will pick and choose who he wants. Now, he does that. The only thing that they found that is similar is they all have had some sort of trauma in their life. Now, this could be something from an outside source, and it can also be trauma induced by Slenderman himself. And then he kind of follows and torments until he finally picks the day where he's going to kidnap you.
Yeah.
And they say what he used to do is impale the people, which primarily at that point in time was children. He would impale them on a tree. He would then take out their organs, put them in plastic bags, and then put the organs back in the body where they belong.
Weird.
So you would be impaled and bleed to death. Then he would proceed to
That would have to be a modern day thing because plastic bags were not invented back in the 1600s.
No, but I don't know when
that turn took. Yeah.
It was, I don't know. But then he also is known for just randomly kidnapping and abducting not only children, but adults. And it's one of those things where, poof, they're gone. There's no evidence of anything ever happening to them. They're just never seen again.
And that brings into play the interdimensional being.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, some speculate that he is an interdimensional being.
They say he can
and
teleport.
Not
And
like a regular entity that's like here all the time. He's like almost like a shadow person in the fact that he is interdimensional, but not really a shadow person because he's
Then
not
again,
seen as a shadow person.
we could also speculate due to his height and his slenderness.
the A word?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what my
Yeah.
first initial thought of him is.
I do believe in some of the original texts about him. He's tall. He did have eyes.
He'd had white eyes, is
He had
what originally.
White eyes, no pupil. He does have a mouth, but you can't see it until he opens it.
Which falls in line with the rake thing, because when he opens his mouth, it's.
I mean, there are lots of like speculations on to whether or not he's an alien, he's interdimensional, he's some kind of demon, he's some kind of other type of spirit that we don't know anything about.
And then there is the stories floating around where there are these organizations that have captured one of him.
Yeah.
And they have given him this
Like
big
an
long
inmate
weird
number.
Yeah, an inmate number and then a name. So if you want to follow down the conspiracy theory road, is he really the A word and they have him contained in a building and there's more than one of him, obviously. But, or is he just some sort of entity? And do they really have one captured so that they can study him or what? But the other weird thing is he can mess with electronics. He is also said to have to give off radiation.
And then he also causes like something they call slender sickness, which
Yes.
is like bloody nose, hallucinations,
Cough.
There's a multitude of different symptoms for slender sickness, but most often it's after you repeatedly see him over and over and over again, that you experience some kind of like
and then they
weirdness.
progressively get worse until you are taken
So,
or whatever.
What it sounds like is like the slender sickness, in my air quotes. It sounds a lot like It almost sounds a lot like radiation poisoning.
Yeah. Or like high EMF poisoning, because high EMFs do the same thing, essentially.
And there was, can't remember the name of the guy, but he was one of the ones that supposedly Slenderman was tormenting. And they actually detected high levels of radiation in his blood.
Now, there have been at least 2, maybe 4 cases where the defendant in a case has quoted that Slenderman made them do it. There were 2 12-year-old girls that tried to kill their best friend in order to become proxies for Slenderman. There was a 14-year-old girl that burned her house down and tried to kill her parent.
And then there were boys.
Her kid, her kid sister or brother, kid sibling. And then there were maybe a number of other cases back when Slenderman first appeared.
In the whole internet sensation
the
thing.
whole, like, creepypasta internet sensation thing where they're
claiming that they're proxies and they're doing his work.
Yeah, they claim that he told them that in order to come with him, they had to kill XYZ person. There were fires started, there were people stabbed, there were almost murders that have happened, all in the name of becoming one of his proxies.
That
which
was
is weird.
One of the other things that he did way back in the day is he was known for burning down buildings, like, completely to the ground, no remnants, nothing.
Which is weird because 2 of the most recent cases involving him that have gone to court, that they have blamed whatever on his trying to become a proxy for him, have tried to burn down their residence with people inside.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of weird, but I mean, when you're... And a lot of those cases also happen to have, like, children or people involved that have some other kind of mental disorder. So that leads me to think that, maybe it's group psychosis.
The one girl had schizophrenia because her dad had it, and she, after all of this, she started showing symptoms. Okay, so you can go down the wormhole of, did she get it through genetics? Or he is known to give hallucinations. He is known for mind control. And your,
There are multiple rabbit holes we could go down for that.
right.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe he's got mine because my brain isn't working right now, but your mental capacity diminishes the more he's around you.
You are fairly pale.
Yeah. Screw you. Anyways, so is it really psychoses from him, or is it genetics?
And
I could say that the producer would be your slender man, but he's not very slender either.
No, but he is bald.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
We don't really see him open his mouth much either.
No, but when he does,
You know it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, the one case where they had the 2 12-year-olds try to stab and kill their best friend, who was another 12 or 13-ish year old, they claimed that Slenderman came and told them to do it. And they wanted to be one of his proxies. Later on, it was determined that the one was schizophrenic and the other was not, but she had that, like, weird, naive personality that, like, almost made it seem like a group hallucination.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the one said, the other believed, which I think it's interesting.
But that's like normal kid behavior, the whole leader-follower thing. But he also, back in the beginning, they said he was more aggressive, like impaling the kids on the trees. And throughout the years, the stories of him actually doing the physical harm has all but disappeared.
Yeah.
So is he like really sending his bidding out to these things, or are they?
And then again, with cases like that here in the modern times, that it's easier to blame something. It is easier to blame that on something you read,
right?
To get out of trouble or to attempt to divert the blame, like, right. Oh, I didn't mean to do it, or I was told to do it. Mm-hmm. In a sense, that's the same as the devil told me to do it.
Right.
Yeah. In the modern day Slenderman, like the memes and everything that you see now, from the 2000s, actually supposedly was a photo contest winner type of thing, and it came about as like a photo contest for one of the online groups. I can't remember which. They run a weekly photo meme contest where you have to take a picture and make it creepy. And so this guy, I can't think of what his name is. He goes by Victor something online. He took a black and white photo of children playing on a slide from the 60s and superimposed a creepy figure with children in the background. And that's kind of where the memes and everything kind of skyrocketed for modern times. But that doesn't explain the fact that there are so many reports and so much information from Germany from the 1600s.
There's documented cases in Canada, the US, Russia, Germany.
Yeah.
My question, because, I tend to fall down all these rabbit holes. Okay, the person that made this picture,
mm-hmm.
Did he just randomly come up with this and make this out of nothing? Or was that something or someone he had seen and that was in his subconscious that he made?
Well, he claims that it's completely fictional and it's made up. But
if it came from your subconscious, you wouldn't know that was something that you had seen.
Right. What do you think?
That would be up to the creator to decide.
Yeah.
But as I stated at the beginning, a lot of your creepypastas and your horror stories and that, they're based in folklore, they're based in myths and legends.
Oh yeah.
So it very well could have been something he read about a cryptid. And he just didn't realize it, and the idea came to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's weird that there are encounters with this being that is very similar to the modern day internet cryptid thing, whatever the hell you want to call it, of Slenderman. But back, before the internet was a thing, obviously. But there's also, people that have tried to kill in the name of said object. There are cases and accounts from across the globe that have come into contact with it. And I don't know, it just intrigues me that there are so many things about Slenderman. There are so many creepypastas and different articles and different accounts of him. It almost makes me wonder if it's the Bloody Mary thing all over again. Is it an actual creature?
Don't say that M word again. Because they were not thinking of him back in the 1600s. They were not thinking of Slenderman to manifest him.
Okay, maybe not in the 1600s, but nowadays, are there people that have talked about it and, discussed it
and kind of brought it back because there was a period of time where there are no documented anything.
Right. It wasn't there. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a creature until, poof, randomly from this photo contest, it came back.
Yeah, because it was there in the 1600s. Then it seems like it just kind of faded out for a while. Then back in the 1900s, and then faded out for a while, and then...
But it makes you wonder if people thinking about it and people talking about it don't make it manifest. It's like the whole...
Maybe it was just kind of lying idle, and once it came back around and people started talking again, not necessarily manifest, but it maybe gave it the energy that it needed to come back full force.
Right. But
I don't know.
It makes you think, is it like a group delusion where there are people that are having those delusional off kilter type
maybe they should stop drinking the Kool-Aid.
Or is it an actual being, an actual manifestation? Is it one of those things where you think about it, you talk about it, and people discuss it enough that it becomes its own entity?
I don't know, but I have a new drinking game for us. Every time she says manifest, we have to drink.
You're gonna die.
Shot.
If you do that, you will die. Do not suggest.
In a sense, though, too, it could be a matter of mass suggestion.
Right.
Which I feel like a lot of folklore that we have nowadays is mass suggestion.
It's a mass suggestion of manifestation.
Oh my God.
I mean, but no, seriously, think about it.
We're going to start bleeping that word out of every video. Bleep!
But think about it, though. You have Slenderman. You have other popular gamey type entities that have been made popular by, stupid slumber party games and other means, and it makes you wonder, is it an actual thing, or is it a thing because people talk about it all the freaking time?
I don't know. I will tell you, when I went down the wormhole of this, I did not expect to find as much as I found. I literally sat there for hours, and I had to stop.
I have never heard about going down the wormhole. The rabbit hole, on the other hand.
She definitely went down the big, dark wormhole of everything Slenderman.
Well, I had to stop, because there's so much.
In the case of Slenderman and it being a creepypasta, you got to look at other entities, though, too, that apparently were around way before the creepypastas, such as the Rake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Rake has had sightings that date hundreds of years back, but are also now shown up in creepypasta and it's just a complete work of fiction.
Right.
Right.
But the Rake also identifies closer to flesh pedestrians.
Yes.
Yeah. But
maybe they're all kind of the same, a group, a shoot off of the same thing.
It's like Sasquatch with Grassman, the Yeti, the Bat Squatch, that kind of stuff.
With all types of entities, you are going to have subspecies.
Right.
It's just how evolution works. Doesn't matter regardless of whether it's an interdimensional being, fiction, non-fiction.
But that makes me wonder, is Slenderman a shadow person? Or is he like an actual like?
But he doesn't resemble a shadow person other than the suit.
By technical accounts, though, he has a vaguely humanoid shape.
Yes.
Like a shadow person.
Yes.
He has no eyeballs like a shadow person.
But he's not the black figure. He interacts a little more. Yeah.
He could be a subspecies.
Subspecies could be a crossbreed.
A shadow person mixed with a rake.
Could be.
It could be.
Could be an interdimensional crossbreed.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know how those things like.
We don't know how they procreate.
Know.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we don't.
No.
Because if you look at a rake,
the shadow person, the Slenderman, they all are kind of sorta.
They have
similar,
a humanoid shape.
They have a vague humanoid shape. They have the weird, creepy eyeballs. They have no eyeballs at all sometimes. Yeah. Is it some kind of weird crossbreed between a shadow person and a rake? Is it some kind of weird crossbreed between like the Fresno Walkers and a rake and a whatever?
Well, I would say no to the Fresno Walkers because those look like sheets on stilts.
Right. But
that looks like the videos you see of the ladder walking down the driveway. That's what the Fresno Walkers look like.
They do, and it's weird. But could they be?
Here's another thing because
a weird crossbreed. We don't know.
I have to look, or else I'm gonna forget what it's called. But there's another theory which we're not even gonna delve into this because we will never leave this podcast.
Part 2?
No. But
Part 3?
There are people that say the quantum theory can explain Slenderman. Then we have the Tulpa effect. And then there is one more, but I'm not going to find it now. But there's 3 scientific based theories that they say can explain Slenderman. I had to stop at that point, so I didn't go down those, but...
So I left April here for about an hour this evening, and by the time I returned, she had gone down the rabbit hole of...
Oh, jeez.
Of this, and not much else.
Continued going for another 2 hours reading.
But, I mean, it makes you wonder.
Maybe Slenderman is just a product of the Illuminati.
That's one of the many theories out there with the whole
the
thing.
Illuminati, the Odd Fellows. There's a lot of, like...
That's part of the conspiracy theory where one of those groups has him somewhere and they're studying him. And
if he's an interdimensional being, there would be no way with our current technology that we would be able to hold him in one place.
Right.
But what if they have technology
they may have more advanced technology.
haven't,
now we're just
introduced.
Now we're going into the realms of speculation.
Well, yeah,
right.
But you know that they have the A words, so...
But how much of that is real?
I don't know.
More than I want to talk about.
There are speculations that the SPC Foundation is...
The SCP Foundation, again, that's another creepypasta fan fiction thing. But could potentially be real.
It could potentially be real. I mean, you don't really know. And they have a lot of creatures in the SCP that could be real.
That stands for Secure, Contain, Protect.
Yes. But, I mean, they have a lot of critters there that could be real.
We're gonna stop there because I don't want to go down any more wormholes here, and I think we should have another Don't Laugh challenge.
Oh, yeah, that could be fun. God, I already want to laugh at
the shit-eating grin on his face.
right. You can't see what we see, but he's got the biggest grin laugh on his face, and no. This is the Don't Laugh Challenge.
While he's reading from a book that is called Dad Jokes.
Yes.
And he's too busy laughing to read one.
And it's contagious. That's the worst part.
It's really not.
It's really not that funny.
No, it's really not.
Probably not.
That's him. You can hear chuckling.
It's okay, because dad jokes are funny to dads. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, there was something slammed out there.
Probably the dog flopping down because he can't get in here.
No, it sounded like a door.
Winchester, he was angry.
Oh, yay. Just what we need at your house is more things that
go bump in the night.
They go bump in the night. Oh, Lord. We have enough of that.
I'll go bump in the night.
The bathroom door's open. Maybe the dog.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I don't know.
That's our theory. We're going with it.
He seems to be ready.
Oh, God.
How can you get rich by eating?
I swear to God, I've heard this one before.
Stab him with a fork.
Just say it.
He can't. He's too busy laughing.
If you could see his face, y'all would be laughing along.
How do you get rich by eating?
You put your money where your mouth is.
You eat fortune cookies.
I can see that.
On that note.
Wait. Tell us one more. Fortune cookies. Really? It's the laugh that gets you in. It's not really the jokes. It's the look on his face and the laughs. If y'all could see it, you would laugh along.
If you went to a concert and spent 45 cents, who would play?
Nickelback.
5 cent. No, Nickelback, yeah.
Who?
50 Cent?
Nickelback.
50 Cent Nickelback.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
It's still fucking funny.
As you can see, he's easily amused. This is what we deal with.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.